So, as dating lifestyle actually have changed, and there has been a lot of complication between the sexes, competition as far as options, so on and so forth. When we have the rise of feminism, women in the workplace, um, with all those changes in that environment comes a lot of broken homes, right? My generation was the divorce generation, you know, and beforehand was the ass whooping generation. So there was a lot of things that occurred to which family was no longer a priority, right? The whole pump and dump culture, the whole there were so many aspects that actually gave rise to the dating market that we have here today. However, when you come across certain individual that fail to analyze all these different aspects, all those different variables that actually make dating in the West what it is today. So you tend to get certain bitter individual to which when they are talking about the opposite sex, when they are talking about the other side, when they're pointing the fingers at the other side, then it almost appear as if the whole hookup culture was simply one-sided, right? And the divorce had nothing to do with the man, or the breaking up of the family had nothing to do with the man. It was only solely put on the blame of the women, right? But I can get that part when this conversation can actually be had in a more philosophical perspective. But when you come across those who are very dishonest about their agenda, those who actually want to justify their own personal action versus via, well, if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be doing that. If it wasn't for Western women, I wouldn't be fucking prostitute or something like that, right? Of that sort. And the feminist act of all women are hoes, all women are good for is to lay on their back, um, yada yada yada. So now, a lot of time when you actually take a look at these individuals, is that their mother also belong in the category of the ain't shit women, which they preach about. You know, is they grew up without a father, they grew up without a stepfather, they grew up with not too many male role models in their lives. So then, therefore, their blame is rest upon the mom, as if that is the only reason why they grew up without any sort of male influence. Some of them have a point, could be fair. But now, when you ask the question, okay, so your mom was a single mom, and your mom couldn't provide you with a stepfather, couldn't provide you with a male role model. So now the question is, do you believe your mom is worthy of being loved? Do you believe your mom is worthy of being in a relationship? That was a question that I've actually asked one of my trolls. And because it's easy, they love to come across with all those quote unquote stats, right? 50% of marriages in the divorce, and it's the woman's fault, something like that, right? And does the stat tells you about how many of these marriages that all these divorces that was due to abuse, substance, um, gambling addictions, all these other aspects? No, the stats don't tell you that all that shit. Or they will come up with what is it? 80% of black women are single mothers, some shit like that, right? Okay, fair enough. But all this comes down to that one point. Do you believe your mom is worthy of being loved? Do you believe your mom is worthy of being loved? Do you believe your mom is worthy of being loved? Because if, you know, let's say that your judgment upon women is based on their actions, right? It's based upon, their past, and, if their past has been tainted. Because a lot of guys, I hear them say some shit like, they're looking for virgins. If a woman already had sex, then that means she's no longer good. If a woman have any type of body count, then she's worthless. But yet they cannot answer that simple question. Is your mom worthy of being loved? This is why they cannot answer that question. Because if the answer is yes, my mom is worthy of being loved, then that actually contradicts all the shit that they've been saying about single moms or women that are not virgins or any other bullshit that they usually come across, right? Or they try to spew out. So it's like, well, somebody's out there can actually love my mom because my mom have some good personalities in her. She's a good woman, despite her flaws, despite her mistakes. They are good qualities. Then yeah, I think my mom's worthy of being loved, right? That is some like if someone is honest, they would actually be able to answer those questions. Like, yeah, my mom's is worthy of being loved. Or if she's not, the person could be like, no, I don't think my mom's being is worthy of being loved because she's a horrible woman. She did this to me, she did that to me. I don't think nobody can ever love my mom. All right? If you're gonna answer it honestly. But all of that is a deflection towards the justification of your current behavior. Because nobody is actually thinking about breaking the cycle. The thing is, they want to continue the cycle of their parents, all the while blaming their parents for their current actions. You know, it's like, well, if I got 5 or 10 baby mamas, it ain't my fault, because that's what, my mom had no example of the dad being in the house. Now I have to deal with women like my mom, and then boom, now I have like a whole bunch of babies I don't want to take care of. You know, peace, same shit. So you're gonna revert to the same cycle of like, well, you know what? It's the woman's fault. They shouldn't open their legs. They shouldn't do this. They shouldn't do that. No accountability, none. Or you might be like, well, I'm smarter than my dad. That's why I go overseas. I do this. I do that. But that also means that if you ever get any of these broads pregnant overseas, then you can say, peace. I don't got to do shit. No accountability. So that when I speak on those issues, right, it's not me telling you how to live your life. It's me telling you that every action has consequences and which you cannot escape those consequences, right? Whether it's good or bad. My action have consequences and I'm willing to accept anything that comes out of it. So nobody is here gonna tell me how to live my life, just like I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. Because whether you're right or you're wrong, only time will tell. Because I've seen so many times people that actually ruin a good relationship thinking about what if. What if she's not perfect enough? What if I find another girl with a bigger ass, bigger titties that can suck dick better? What if I haven't screwed enough women in the world? What if she's cheating on me because I'm cheating on her? What if she's doing this? What if she's doing that? Never mind what I'm doing. No, don't worry about that because I'm a king. I'm supposed to do whatever the fuck I want to do. But she's not. It's all this different um bullshit theories, right? And how whatever you do is right, whatever she does is wrong. It's all about the justification. Because a lot of these people that want to quote those Stats. Don't give a shit about the stats. They don't give a shit about the laws. They don't give a shit about none of that. They don't give a shit about none of that. As a matter of fact, they don't want things to get better. I want things to get better. So then I try to be better. I try to become the change I want to see in the world. I try to raise my daughter in a way to which she's not one of those broad that's going out there throwing pussy left and right. I try to be better by giving my daughter a better example what a good man should be. I try to give my family members a good example what a good man should be. One of the ways that, like, I think I kind of influenced my sister is when her and her husband, they going through their little trouble and my mom tried to intervene, or my mom tried to get in their affair, and she told her to back up. No, don't get into my shit. Because of all the talk that I talk about, like, yo, whatever you have between you and your spouse, you work that shit out by yourself. Don't let nobody in there. And it's these the type of examples to which people start to figure things out on their own. And they start to figure that, okay, these I want to be very careful of who I allowed in my circle. So then therefore, whatever decision that I make, it's always my fault. I will take that loss because I should not be dealing with certain type of people. I should not let my dick dictate my life. That's what the red pill is about. Not how many hoes you can fuck. Not how you can get away with fucking the most amount of bitches. It's not about none of that shit. The red pill is supposed to teach you how to better read people in a glance to find out who's full of shit and who's not. So, do you believe your mother is worthy of being loved? Because you can talk about all the single moms, all the bitches and hoes, and all this and all that. You don't know any of them, right? I mean, yeah, you might know some of them. And yeah, some of them quite clearly ain't shit, but we ain't dealing with them. We're dealing with your personal life based on your own experience, based on growing up in a single mother's household. Do you believe your mother is worthy of being loved? Because a lot of our issues stem from our environment, and we choose to neglect it by focusing on things that actually have nothing to do with us in order to put a blind side, or in order to actually put a blinder upon the way we live our life today. So if you believe bitches ain't shit, all women are this and all women are that, the question is simple. Do you believe your single mother is worthy of being loved? Do you believe anyone should actually love your mother? You could dance around that question all you want, but that is it. You could ask for debates, you could ask for a whole bunch of shit. I don't owe you anything on that platform. The person know who I'm talking to. And the question is simple. Do you believe your mother is worthy of being loved? Do you believe? I'm not asking your mother, I'm asking you. Do you believe your mother is worthy of being loved? It's a simple yes or no question. But anyways, so for those who wants to be more honest about their own lives, who wants to grow not simply from a financial standpoint, but from a spiritual standpoint, from a logical standpoint, from a mental standpoint. If you want to cut off the fat, the bullshit out of your life, then you got to be honest looking at the men in the mirror. Because I'm not here to change your mind. Listen, why the fuck should I try to change your mind? Because it's your life. It's your life. You could do whatever the fuck you want to do with your life. So, do you believe your mother is worthy of being loved? Anyways, this is Arbanaga. Share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace.